Why do I like homeschooling? I'm going to tell you that in this video. Hey guys, it's Vani from Mrs. Mom's Homeschool and welcome to my channel. And if you're new here, I make videos to help you on your homeschooling and parenting journey. So make sure to check out all my other videos and my playlist and hit that subscribe button if you like what you see. Today, my video is part of a collaboration with other homeschooling YouTubing mamas who are explaining why they like homeschooling. A lot of people are new to homeschooling or playing around with the idea of homeschooling, and they're wondering, why is it good to homeschool? What is best about homeschool? Why is homeschooling the best option? And questions such as those. Now, while I can't really answer that question for you, my answer is going to be totally different, and you might not agree with my reasons, but today I want to share with you guys why I feel homeschooling is best for our family and all of the things that I love about homeschooling. Let's get into this video. Reasons are not in any order at all, but I'm just going to tell you my first reason, or one of the reasons why I love homeschooling so much, is because I get to shelter my kids from ideas that I don't believe in or agree with. We are in 2022 and there are a lot of ideas out there that are new. These are all brand new ideas within the last decade, and if I'm sending my child out into the world, they're going to be taught these ideas whether it's something I want them to be taught or not. Now, I am the parent. It is my job to raise my children, and it is my job to instill certain principles into my children. It is not the school's job to do that for me, especially without my permission. So I am grateful that being a homeschooling parent, I get to instill the values that I want to instill in my children without them having to be confused by being taught something opposite being in a public school. Second thing I love about homeschooling is that I get to put an emphasis on God. I don't have to spend an arm and a leg to send my kids to a Christian school, even though that is what I did for my daughter who's in high school. But I don't have to do that for my kids. I can instill it in them in my own way. And by the way, if you want to know how we do homeschool Bible, check out this video here. I can put as much emphasis into the Bible and prayer and God as I want to without having any condemnation from the rest of the world or the government or anything like that. That's a big reason why I feel like it's important for me to homeschool, is because I am able to have my kids develop a relationship with the creator of the universe, have them understand why they believe, and be able to instill faith that they're going to need in this life. The life is really hard, and without faith in God, it's even harder. Third reason why I love homeschooling, and this one is a big one, is because I get to be, me and their father, get to be their biggest influence in their lives. So when a child, and please, if you guys disagree with anything, that's fine. You don't need to bash me in the comments below. Everyone is entitled to this opinion. This video is about why I like homeschooling. The third reason is because my kids are not being raised by other children. They are with me all the time, and therefore I am able to correct their behavior as it happens. I am also able to be the biggest influence in their life, and anybody that I choose to be an influence in their lives. We have homeschool co-ops where I get to decide on what classes they're going to take, or they get to decide as well, us together. We go to church, and there's different places that I will take them to where they will get knowledge and wisdom from other adults, but it is still under the parents' control. They are not with children nonstop all day getting all these ideas from all these other kids. And let's be honest, guys, right now the internet is raising most of the kids that are out here that we have right now. The internet is a big influence in the lives of our children. One thing I don't like about homeschooling is that when I try to make a video, the kids are always knocking at the door. My son just came in here and interrupted my whole flow. All right, I get to be the biggest influence, and my husband and I get to be the biggest influence in our kids' lives. Now, I do have a teenager, and I know the challenge it is with these phones and the social media, because she is in school and she does have to keep up with the other kids and be the one that, you know, she can't be the one who doesn't have, you know, this app or it's a struggle. It's a struggle. But when you have kids who are homeschooled, if all your kids were homeschooled, you deal with that a lot less, because most of the other homeschooling families, most of them are like-minded, and most of those kids don't have social media. So it's less of a struggle for you to fight with your kids over their phone. Another thing I like about homeschooling is I get to teach them what I want to teach them. I get to teach them what they want to learn. I get to teach them to their skill level. If they're having a hard time in one subject, I get to work on that as long as I want to, as long as we need to, for as many months, days, or years as it takes for us to fine-tune that specific skill. I get to hone in on that problem and fix it. At the same time, if I have a child who is way above in a subject, we get to progress a lot faster. I love to homeschool because we get to teach a variety of different things. I can do poetry tea time. I can do science experience. I can do science every day for a month and not do any history at all. Or I can do history every day for a month and not do any science at all. I can teach them about anything that we find interesting and want to learn about. And I love that about our homeschool. When your child is older and of high school age, you get to teach that child to whatever career path they're thinking of taking and have them take specific courses, specific co-op electives, specific everything to guide them on their journey before they even get into college. Another thing I love about homeschooling, and I miss, and I don't have this freedom as much anymore because I do have a child in a private school, so we have to go off of her schedule, but one of the greatest benefits of homeschooling is you have your own schedule. Not only do you get to wake up and start school whenever you want to, whether it's early in the day or later in the afternoon, you get to take off or go on field trips or go on vacation any time of the year. And normally homeschoolers take off when all the other kids are in school so that there's less of a crowd, less lines, things like that. I really do miss that freedom. Another thing I love about homeschooling, this is number 6, is all the amazing opportunities my kids get to be a part of as homeschoolers. We get special field trips that these amazing mothers put on for our homeschool co-ops. We were able to take some hockey lessons from an old Tampa Bay Lightning hockey player. We were able to go on a private tour to the Bucks Stadium. There's so many different things that maybe you get to do them in a public school. I don't know. I haven't been to school in Florida before. This is the state that I'm in. But there's so many different opportunities and we can do them as much as we like. We go on field trips quite a lot. We go on field trips almost every week, actually. Sometimes it's a lot and I feel like I have to fit in school, but I love that part of homeschooling too. I also love being a part of a homeschool co-op with like-minded individuals. So let's say I did have my children in a public school, which listen, I'm not bad-mouthing public school at all. I know that that is some people's choice and I respect everybody's decision. These are just my choices for loving homeschool. But I'd still be the same person if my kids were in school, right? It's so much easier right now for me to find like-minded moms that are raising their kids the way that I would raise my kids, whether they were homeschooled or not. I'm more likely to find them in our homeschool group, if that makes any sense. So it's wonderful to have and be a part of homeschool co-ops. Also, they have these amazing classes that you can have your kids take. You can have them take debate and art and cooking, home economics, robotics. Like there's so many different cool classes that I can teach my kids on top of their core lessons by taking them to a homeschool co-op, and I love that about homeschooling as well. Another thing I love about homeschooling, some non-homeschooling parents may not feel this way, and the only reason why I say that is because in the summertime I see a lot of memes with parents making fun of jokes of the fact that their kids are home all summer, they're dying for school to start so they can send them away. But personally, I love being with my kids all the time. Now let's keep it real. Mommy always needs a break and some downtime. But I am fine with them being in the other room while I'm in my room, just shooting a video or doing something that's considered downtime for me. I love being with them all the time. I love that I am involved in their lives. I know what's going on with their friendships, with their schoolwork, with their education, their thought processes. I know what they're struggling with. I know what they love and what they hate. I love that I know their friendships and I know their friends and their friends' parents, and I love that I'm so involved in their little lives right now. And I know that one day, I have a 10-year-old right now and a 6-year-old, and then I have a 14-year-old who's in school, and I know how hard it is for me to get into my 14-year-old's life like that. It's very difficult. And not to say that when my 10-year-old turns 14 that he's going to allow me in so much, but I think that being home and homeschooling, it's just a different culture in the household that I feel like it leads us there, because I still do feel very close to my oldest child. She was homeschooled her whole life, even though she's in school now. And I don't know how that would be if my kids were in school, because my kids are not in school. But I do love being with them all of the time. I do love seeing their little faces all day long. I love to be the one to teach them to read, to teach them how to write, to see the focus on their face when they're doing a math problem. I love all of that. I love being involved in all of it. I also love about homeschooling that if I don't like their curriculum, I can change it. I can just toss it out the window. I can change it in the middle of the school year. If I really like 2 curriculums, I can just throw it all in together and make my own thing. If I don't like anybody's curriculum, I can just create my own curriculum from scratch. So I love having the freedom to teach and not teach what I want and what I don't want. And the last thing that I love about homeschooling is that homeschool children are exposed to kids of all different ages. They learn how to take care of younger children because they're with younger kids, either whether they're siblings, multiple siblings, and they're with them all day long and they're helping you take care of them, or if they're at a homeschool co-op and you have kids of all different ages playing together. So my kids have friends 4 years younger and 4 years older, and they just are in, and of course they're same age, so they're able to get along with kids of all different ages. They're not stuck in a classroom with just kids that are their age. They're also around adults more because there's a lot of adults in the homeschool co-ops, and there's a lot of parents around, so they're able to connect with other people's parents and talk to them better than being in a school with just one teacher. And it's, you know, like I said again, I'm really not trying to bash public school, but I've been on both sides of it. And I know that when my daughter was in school earlier, before high school, before she was homeschooled, there was no connection between her and her teacher at all. And she never got the opportunity to learn how to speak to adults until she came home. And now she's back in school, but adults love my daughter because she is very comfortable talking with adults. And when we had a birthday party one time, she had kids from homeschool and public school, neighborhood kids, and it was those homeschool kids that my husband, who was against homeschooling, was the most impressed with. He was most impressed with these kids because they were the ones that were polite and engaging with him and talking to him, whereas all the other kids completely ignored him as if he didn't even exist, and they were coming into our home for this birthday party. It was actually pretty funny, but it was great to see that kids who are homeschooled are taught to speak with adults and deal with people of all different ages, and so they're better socialized than their public school peers. I really hope I didn't offend any of you guys with my reasons for homeschooling. These are my reasons for homeschooling. These are the things that I love about homeschooling. Make sure you check out that playlist in the description below of all the other moms that have joined this collaboration and all the things that they love about homeschooling. I hope I was able to help any of you guys if you were considering homeschooling to homeschool. And if you have decided that you want to homeschool, please make sure to subscribe to my channel because this channel is for you, to help you on this homeschooling journey. I know it doesn't seem easy a lot of the times, but we are here for you. We have a big community of homeschoolers in YouTube. So thank you guys again for watching, and I will see you in the next video.